Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday evening. That means we are one thing. We're live here, the Iron Thunder Racing League, where tonight they are going to take on their first road course of the season here, as we are at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Complex. We are going to be running the full course, 34 laps here. Now, for those of you not familiar with Mid-Ohio, it is a 13-turn 2.2 mile track, which is a ton of fun. There's a lot of uphill, downhill, a lot of really tight turns. This is going to be a really technical track, especially for these Xfinity Series cars. We look at the weather here. Nice 65 degrees. You can see it's overcast, so that should be grip for days, but with the way that these cars are geared, we all know that's not necessarily going to dictate things, because throttle, the preload on these cars, especially with the up and down and turning at the same time, these cars normally only have to deal with banking and going around, but now they're going to have to deal with elevation changes, preload, offload, everything. I'm excited to see this one go, as we've got roughly about 3.5 minutes left here in practice before we head on into qualifying. Looking at the top of the board, no surprise, everybody had been claiming it, the 97 of Eric Drapeau. He is on top of the board, but we have to point it out that he will be starting from the rear of the field. Right now we take a look at last week's winner at Charlotte. They're the 18 of Will Morris. It's going to be interesting to see how many of these guys have oval experience. We see the 18 and the 92 of Jonathan Grissett. They're both go off track. You've got to get the braking points down, and you've really got to be smooth on the throttle here, or it could result in off tracking, as we see there, the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. Now, I jumped in on one of the practices and I drove around. I put in, I think, about, what was it, maybe, oh God, to see Ray head off to the tire barrier of heaven over there. I think I put in about 18 to 20 laps. Now the race tonight's gonna be 34, so it was interesting. Like, it felt like running the Cup car at Sonoma. You've really gotta watch your throttle. You've gotta have a lot of maintenance throttle. You've gotta have a lot of patience, and it's definitely gonna be interesting on the start here, as these guys will be double filed up. And the first couple laps are going to be very entertaining and very, very, very important as to what's going to dictate the rest of the race here. Now, they do have the faster pair, as always, that they can fall back on, but you don't want to burn that on lap 1 when you still have 33 more laps to complete after that. I think once the field gets spread out, we're going to see a really, really good race here. I can't emphasize how much I love watching oval cars on road tracks, and I know when we go to Road America with the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, I believe the Cup Series, Xfinity Series is with Die Hard, but that's going to be a fun race because I love doing those. The Truck Series will be going to Watkins Glen, so I'll be running that one as well. But I love watching people who normally excel at road courses or excel at ovals. You're going to see this tonight. You're going to see who's the inner road course driver and who is more of a traditional oval style driver, or just doesn't have the time behind the wheel on road courses at this particular track. Now, I've run it several times in IMSA, GT3s, GTEs, and what it's basically going to boil down to is how comfortable the drivers feel inside the cars. I think we might see a lot of accidental bump and runs, but it's to be expected here at a road course, because if you've got your own set of braking marks, and the car in front of you has a different set, as we saw right there between the 09 of Matson and the 44 of Anderson. The 09 had a slightly earlier braking point. Oh, we see a car up there on the tire wall there, but Matson had a little bit of an earlier braking zone than the 44 did. So there we see door to door as they come there out of the corner. Sometimes you've got to check up with the car in front of you, and a lot of times you have to do some rear view mirror driving, that way you don't get run over either. But as the session is going to draw to a close here, see the timer has expired on it. Checkered is out, so we will begin qualifying here. It'll be interesting to see who is going to get the pole here tonight. So as the drivers take to the track here, they do have 5 laps to put in a time here. So we're going to watch as these guys roll off here, as we see right there the 43 of Kelvin Missouri. He's going to make his way out onto the track. Now the one thing that I did find out is on fresh tires, the outlap on these cars is extremely loose. Especially when you come down this fast brake right here. Then you have to make the hard right hand to start the first set of S's. The cars are very, very loose until you get the heat built up, the pressure's built up in the tires. Let's see. Let's see the 69 there of Aiden Young. Making his way through the first set of S's here. They're into the downhill. Makes his way over the little crest. That one right there is going to be something that's going to bite you, and this one here will too, because you got a little bit of another downward crest. You see the 77 there, Patrick Langley on track. Running the Nerf GameStop Toyota Camry. Now this last turn here is the most trickiest, because you've got basically a hairpin with another tight left-hander to bring you right to the front stretch, and there's the line right there. So you see it now, the 44 of Dave Anderson and the 39 of Zach Kreiser. Now the 12 of Paul Smith. 87 of Raymond Rittenauer there. I think the key thing tonight is going to be keeping the tires, all 4 tires on the pavement. I know a lot of the guys are going to want to get either the left or the right sides up on the rumble strips here to help the car rotate, but a lot of times, and I tested that in practice, it doesn't always work the way you want it to. As we take a look at the 51 of Sam Green and now the 24 of David Jedlicka there. A lot of the times when you get up on those rumble strips, it actually upsets the car a lot, almost like Sonoma when you watch, if you've ever seen the NASCAR race where they run Sonoma, or as I'll always refer to it as Sears Point, but when they get up on those rumble strips and it hops the left side or the right side tires up off the ground, that's what happens here, and it really does upset the race car. But just so we don't miss anything, we're going to go ahead and bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band a little bit early here for tonight's national anthem. That way these guys can get their qualifying in. So at this time, please, everybody, rise, remove your hats as we bring you tonight's national anthem. Fantastic job as always. glad to have those guys on board with us. They've been on for several seasons, and I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. Now, once again, tonight's race is the Autism Speaks 130, and honestly, I love any time that we do one of these autism awareness races, because it's one of the things that's overlooked a lot, and it's a very, very big, a lot more common thing than people actually realize, how autism can affect the family and affect somebody for life, and just how many people out there suffer from it in some form or fashion. So it's always great to see somebody step up to the plate and throw up a great cause race here, as it'll be 130 laps, 34 miles here. As we see the 30 of Dustin Majewski out on track right now. Looking at the early times here in right now, the 44 of David Anderson on pole with a 124.096. Behind that, the 51 of Sam Green with a 125.279. Aaron Carpentier in the 7, third with a 125.473. Chris Gale fourth right now with a 125.545. Rounding out the top 5 will be the 69 of Aiden Young with a 126.036. Once again, these guys do have 5 laps to get it in, so nothing is set in stone, but looking at the time differences here, Anderson's got almost a second on the field here. Actually, he's got a little bit more than a second. He's got a second and 2/10. You see the 54 there of Brian Morris as he makes an off track there, so that lap will be null and void. As we see there, the 48 of Matt Cherry, 93 of Andy Kosalova. Currently being scored in the 14th position. Now the 24 there being scored in 18th. We see the 92 of Brissup right now. He is being scored 22nd. He has yet to get a lap down officially on the clock. You see there the 5 of Christopher Gale. He's going to go off track there in the S, so that lap is going to be null and void. Take a look back again there. We see the 93 of Kosalova get off there in the kitty litter. And now we've got the 35 of Sawyer Ott right now sitting in the 7th spot with a 126.458. See Anderson still out there on track to see if he can get a faster lap than he's done. He's got 2 completed so far. Looking down the running list, we see the 77 of Langley, the 48 of Cherry with 3 laps. Paul Smith with 4 of his 5 laps in. Right now are 3. As well as the 98 of Jeff Figlin, the 24. I think a lot of these guys are not going to qualify. So I think we're going to see a lot of guys just hanging on because they might not be the road racing type. So they're going to sit back a little bit and just kind of survive. Like I know when I was in the test session earlier, I was talking to the 20 of Fondo Coa, right? You might have to remember here. Nope, I was right. Talking to him earlier, and he's literally just in it to survive tonight, point tonight. So there's going to be several guys that are going to be towards the back of the field here. See Anderson getting loose there. That's the rumble strip. He's going to make a hard impact to the wall there. And once again, we need to bring up the fact that the fastest driver out here, the 97, is not allowed to qualify due to an EOL at Bristol. So unfortunately, Eric's not going to be able to get out there. I know he was the guy to beat, especially in the practice session I was in. Wicked fast, hell of a road car driver, and he's going to be starting from the tail end of the field. But it's going to be interesting to watch him work his way up through the field. So take a look now. We see the 1 of R.D. Peterson Jr. out on track. Now back to the 35 of Sawyer Ott. Sawyer still holding on to that 7th position. You see there the 1. Is he able to save it? No, he's going to go off into the grass, so that lap will not count. Z Sawyer is going to bring that car to a halt. And as Peterson makes his way through the first turn there, looked good as we're looking at the 93 of Andy Kosalova right now sitting at the end of pit road. He's only been knocked down 1 spot, so he's currently sitting in 15th with a 127.834. Another thing to look at is Aaron Carpenter. He's moved up to 2nd spot now. Kevin Hash up to 5th with a 125.664. Chris Gale in 4th right now with a 125.545. Only 2 drivers to run 124s are going to be the 44 of Anderson and the 7 of Carpenteri. I can only imagine what Drapeau's lap would be if he was able to qualify tonight. I think we'd probably see a 123 out of him. Right now we see Brian Morris there currently being scored 20th. Looking at the driver list, we have 25 entries tonight. It's a lot of cars here at Mid-Ohio, and not too many leagues I could say that don't run road courses all the time that you would see 25 Xfinity cars here at Mid-Ohio. Watch the 92 there of Jonathan Grissop, still sitting in 2030, has still not been able to get a lap down yet. You see right there, that little bit where his Hardy's tires were off to the right side might make the difference between that lap counting or it not counting there. So you gotta be really, really careful. iRacing is very scrupulous about how far you can go off before you get an off track there. And a lot of times you can clip the apron and be all right, but sometimes it's just not gonna happen. And a lot of times you could be on the rumble strips and they'll still give you an off track for it, which I think they need to rework it a little bit. They've gotten better at their road courses, but some of these places still need to have a little bit more tweaking done to it. That way you're not getting off tracks when you're technically not off track. As we wait for the final seconds here of qualifying to die down here, pretty much everybody is taking their car back on the pit road, getting ready for the gridding order here. Here's somebody burning it down. We're gonna go ahead and give a little moment of silence to the cars here. Some of these guys are gonna shine. We might see some guys that you never would have thought would have had any road course luck or had a lot of seat time driving road courses, and we might see a lot of guys definitely uncomfortable and outside of their wheelhouse tonight, but a lot remains to be said until we get that first lap in. That's probably going to be the most critical lap aside from the white flag lap. So Session State has come out checkered, which means as soon as we see it, we're going to get everything all lined up here and go to tonight's starting lineup. Starting on pole, we got the 44 of Dave Anderson. To his outside, the 7 of Aaron Carpentieri. We're actually going to go to a better view than this here. We're going to do an awesome view here. Starting third tonight will be the 51 of Sam Green to his outside, the 5 of Chris Gale. Rolling off fifth will be the 03 of Kevin Hash. Hopefully it doesn't turn in a crash tonight, but to his outside in sixth, the 69 of Aiden Young. Rolling off seventh, the 35 of Sawyerot. The 48 of Matt Cherry starts to his outside in eighth. Dave Matson in the 09 will start from ninth. Rounding out the top 10 will be the 77 of Patrick Langley. Starting in 11th position, we have the 12 of Paul Smith. The 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer will start from 12th. Zach Kreiser in the 39 will roll off 13th. Kelvin Masur in the 43, 14th. Andy Kosilova in the 93, 15th. The 30 of Dustin Majewski will start from the 16th spot. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. 17th. The 18 of Will Morris will ironically start in 18th position. 19th goes to the 98 of Jeff Figlin. The 24 of David Jedlicka is going to round out the top 20. Brian Morrison, the 54, will start from the 21st position. The 97 of Eric Drapeau will start 22nd. Donald Sadusky in the 19, 23rd. Ponoko in the 20, 24th. Rounding out the field will be the 92 of Jonathan Grissom. So as we get set, everybody still has time to grid up here. We're gonna go with the TV3s. The rough pace car is making its way. These guys start about 3/4 of the way around the track here with a rolling start. So as soon as they get to the start-finish line and we get this race underway, we'll switch to TV2 here so you can get a closer
green flag.
Shot. As the green flag is out, we can see already a little bit of movement. It looks like there's a little bit of contact already. As we see the 44, our pole sitter, already off in the grass. A couple other cars is out front on that restart. See, they're gonna be 3 wide. Oh, we see a little bit sideways there. We watch the 44 of Anderson. He does appear to have nose damage to that machine. And while these guys try to get things sorted out, the 51 of Sam Green will be scored as the leader. Not sure what happened on the start. Somebody might have spun the tires there, but it's all fair and love and war here once the green flag comes out, as long as you pass on the outside. As we continue to watch here, the passing zones are going to be pretty much in full effect here. Right now, Sam Green's got a 2.3 second lead over the 7 of Aaron Carpentier. Right now we see the 5 there of Chris Gale in third spot. Behind him the 69 of Aiden Young and the 44 of Dave Anderson. Did start on pole, so he only lost 4 positions rather. see right there, there is our race leader. Meanwhile, we take a look back here, we see a little bit of movement around between the 44 and the 69. Anderson is trying to get back there. We're looking back in the S's here. We got a battle between the 30 of Majewski and the 12 of Smith, as we see a little bit of a blink there out of the 93 of Kosolova. Directly behind Smith, we see the 98 of Figlin, the 18 of Morris, and the 1 of Peterson Jr. Definitely tell a lot of these drivers have different braking zones. You see the 39 there off up against the tires. That is Zach Kreiser. We can see them starting to get a little bit more spread out. We do have a couple that are still in packs here. They head down the back section in that fast break. You can see the cone's getting knocked out of the way. Now that's not going to give you a penalty. If anything, it might give you just maybe a slowdown. But it's not really cutting the course of time gain. So Anderson losing 5th position to the 03 of Kevin Hash. Now he might come under fire by the 77 of Langley. As he gets a little bit loose there. These downhill sections are definitely the tricky spots. As we see hard contact, Dave's gonna knock it right into the wall. Oh, and unfortunately he's stuck in the fence. That is gonna be he's gonna have to reset that car. So you see the 48 of Matt Cherry off track there in the final corners there. He's going to take it wide. Meanwhile, we got the 97 and the 43 as they're trying to make the pass. Nice pick there by the 97 of Eric DeVoe, as now he has moved up inside of the top 10 despite starting in the back of the field. So now he's going to go to the inside of Matt Cherry here in turn 1. So move him up to 9th position. Keep your eyes on that number 97 machine. He's going to be barreling his way up towards the front here. So we still have a lot of racing to go. 31 laps still remaining here at Mid-Ohio. So a lot of race left to do. As we see now the 97 is going to go around the 87 of Raymond Rittenhour. So that's another spot for Trevaux. Now he's up to 8th position. So he is definitely on the march here. They make their way through the S's here. We can see the 48, the 87, and the 43. All right, now the camera that everybody hates. Focus on crashes, but let's see where it might find itself at. It might bounce around a lot. As you see the 97 up on the rumble strips there, taking advantage of it. See a little bit of grass flying here. Look back right now, we're looking at the battle for 16th between the 09 of Madsen and the 1 of Peterson Jr. Meanwhile, the 93 of Andy Kosolova holding on to 12th position. He's got the 30 of Dustin Majewski behind him. Directly in front of them, Kelvin Masur and Raymond Rittenhour. That'll be 10th and 11th. Looking at the lead up front, Sam Green's 2+ second lead has been brought down to a 1.1. The 7 of Aaron Carpenteri starting to reel them back in here. These cars have about 3 to 4 laps on their tires now. This is now brought into under a second. So let's go ahead and roll up to the 7 machine and watch as he tries to reel in the 51. You can see right there, there's our race leader, the 51. directly behind him in that crispy green Ford Mustang. The gap is closing. It's down to 0.8 of a second. The driver that we also want to keep our eyes on tonight as well, the 97 of Eric Deveau, as he's looking to try and get around the 77 of Langley. That'll be for sixth position right now. You see him looking to the inside as they head off into turn number 2. He's going to get the spot, so move him up to 6th position. Next one he's going to go after is going to be the 69 of Aiden Young. If he can do that, he will now be sitting inside of the top 5. But definitely on the move here. So we're going to take a look right here. He started in 22nd position. He's already made his way up to 6th. Last time by, he ran his fastest lap of the race, a 1:24.442. So definitely keep your eyes on this 97 machine. I think we're going to see him up in the front 3 here before long. So far, with 5 laps in the books, we haven't had any lead changes. Sam Green has been your leader for all 5. Currently our top 5 is the 51 of Sam Green, the 7 of Aaron Carpentier, the 5 of Chris Gale, the 03 of Kevin Hash, and the 69 of Aiden Young, who right now is under fire by the 97 of Eric Deveau. As we see, he's going to look to the outside this time, as he's going to get the spot, so now chalk that up to 5th position for the 97. He is definitely moving to the front. Now he's going to set his eyes on the 03 of Kevin Hash, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a setup down here going into the first set of S's. See if he puts any pressure on the 03, if he could dive. He's looking to the outside. Is he going to get it? Yes, he is. The 03 is going to slow down and allow the 97 by. So that will move him up to 4th position. And now he's got to get up to the 5 of Chris Gale. As we check back front, this will be the battle for the lead if the 7 of Carpentier can get up here. He is right there on the back bumper of Green as they come out of the second to last turn. As they cross the line, Green's still able to hold on, but he's got that 7 right tight behind him, waiting for him to make a mistake. He's really, as we see, there is a little bit of a mistake there by the 7. He gets off in the dirt, so that's going to extend the lead out just a hair, but all can be made up in a couple corners. So we continue to watch the 97 marching. You can see right there the 5 of Gale just now making his way into turn 2 and 3. We see that there's not a lot of separation right now. Looking at the timing, the 97 has to make up 11 seconds on the leader, but there's 27 laps to go, and at the pace he's been running so far, I don't really see it going to be too much of a problem here, as the time is going to continue to shrink down as these laps go on. As we can see, he's getting closer and closer to the 5 of Chris Gale. Meanwhile, as we look a little bit further back, looking at the 13th spot, as we see the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer there lock the brakes up, goes a little bit through the kitty litter and into the grass. As well as we see the 54, he got a little bit of an off track there. He's going to slow down and allow the 30 by, as well as the 98. Watching these guys here as they come through the final sets, because right now the battle's on here for 3rd position. The 97 looks to the inside, he's going to take it. That'll move up to 3rd position. So now, last time we checked it was 11 seconds. It's been reeled into a 9.9 now. We're gonna look up here at the battle for the lead though. As we see the 92 of Jonathan Grissom there off in the grass. We see the 51 of Green starting to come up on some lap traffic here. See the 24 there of Jed Lika. This might be a good pick move here for the 7 of Carpentry if he can time it right. As we see the 92, I believe that's the 92 of Grissom. Oh, it's a little bit of an off track there for the 7 as well. No, that's the 20 of Pondo Co there off track. Oh, and the 24 kind of bottlenecked there through the final S. That's going to open the gap back up to a 1.3 second lead for Sam Green. And now as third place crosses the line, the gap has been brought down to 7.5 seconds. So that 97 machine continuing to march its way up towards the front here. Right now this is the battle for 8th position between the 48 of Matt Cherry and the 77 of Patrick Langley. In front of them, the 35 of Sawyer Ott holding down 6th position. As we see right there, the 93 of Andy Kosalova. And the battle was going to be the 30 there of Dustin Majewski. If he can get up, we can get him around. So we see 92 is going to stay to the inside there, allow the 93 by. As now for position, the two cars that will be is the 93 and the 30. So we see the 24 off track, hits the tire wall there. So the lead now up front is extended out to a 4-second gap between the 51 and the 7. Looks like we have 2 retirees out of the race so far, that being the 19 of Donald Sadusky and the 44 of Dave Anderson. After we saw he did get that 44 Famous Dave's barbecue caught in the fence and had to reset his car on pit road. So Dave opting to park that car for the night. We've got about 10 laps in the books here. I think it should be right about lap 9. Take a look around the field here, focusing still right around the 11th position. Now, the 43 and the 30, those cars are both 4th position. If Andy can get around the 43, that'll move him up to 10th position. Behind that, we see the 30 of Majewski holding down 12th. As now the 97 has made his way around the 7 of Carpentry. You can see there's Carpentry making his way through the final corners, crossing the line. He's reeled it down to a 5.9 and it's continuing range here. It's going to go up and down a little bit, but you can see right there, that is your race leader up there going into turn number 2. Let's ride on board here for a second. Or actually, let's ride on board for a lap here with the 97. Hear the finesse of the throttle here as he goes through the first set of S's here. Staying in 2nd gear through all this. Back down to 2nd as he comes into the final hairpin here. Now this is a long deceiving. This is a very, very long apex. He's gonna make his way down pit road. The 97 on pit road. He's in his box. Let's see what the call is. We see the right side's up. We also see the 69 of Aiden Young, the 03 of Kevin Hash, making their way onto pit road now. So 4 tires and fuel. 97 down and away. Let's see what the 69 of Aiden Young is going to do. Is he going to be 4 in fuel? More than likely, as you see, the right side's up. Also the 03 of Kevin Hash. Right side's up on that machine. Now left side's going up. Undoubtedly both going to get 4 tires and top off on Sunoco race fuel. We look out front, Sam Green still holding on. Started in 3rd position. He's led it from the beginning here, as we've got 12 laps in the books. Every lap belonging to that 51 machine. Oh, as we see there, the 98 of Jeff Biglin and the 24 of David Didaliga, both off in the grass. See the 18 of Will Morris on pit road, now leader pit road, 51 of Sam Green coming down. See what the 51 chooses. Undoubtedly it'll be 4 and fuel. He is in his box, the 18 on his way out of pit road right now. So he is down and away. Right now, we're going to see the exchange of the lead here as the 97 of Eric Trapeau goes around the 51 of Sam Green. That is for the lead there, so hand your lead over to the 97. Only took 13 laps to drive from 22nd up to the race lead here. His fastest lap of the night so far has been a 1:24.368. It was only a matter of time. We knew it was coming, and it happened right as your race leader, the 51 of Sam Green, was coming off of pit road. It got exchanged over. Oh, so we see a little shunt there from the 93 of Kosalova in the back of the 54 there. So we also see the 39 of Creaser off track through the kitty litter. Let's take a look at Matson and Smith here as they come out of turn 1. A little bit sideways there. Right now this is 14th position here. This is the 93 trying to get around the 24. It's not going to be, the battle is going to be between the 98 and the 93 as the 24 gets out of the way. Oh, the 93 has almost goes around. He does a great job locking up, but that's going to give Jeff Biglin 14th position. Once again, great job there by the 93, being able to lock it down and keep that car from going around any further. Looking up front, about right around a 2-second lead right now that Trapeau has over the 51 of Sam Green. You see a little bit of a bobble there out of the 93. Now we look at the battle for 10th between the 77 of Patrick Langley and the 12 of Paul Smith. They head off into the final corners here. And as they come out of there, crossing the line, that will extend a little bit as we see now the 69 of Aiden Young. This is going to be the battle for 4th position if it can happen between Chris Gale and Aiden Young. Now we're looking at 92 of Jonathan Grissa being scored 1 lap down. Back to the battle though for 4th position between the 5 and the 69. they head through the final late apex hard hairpin there, then into another hard left as they cross the line. Gale's going to hold on to the position for now. We start to see a lot more cars right there. We see that is our second place car being, looks like he got held up a little bit by the 18, so that's going to extend the lead out for the 97. He's got a 4.8 second gap back to the 51. We get a good look there at the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer, and now the 30 of Justin Majewski in 12th position. 20 of Pondo come not for position. However, the 09 of Dave Matson there is, that is 13th and 12th. We go back up to the battle here, 4th again. Aiden's still trying to get up there and get to the back bumper of that 5 machine. A lot of these guys are in lap traffic here, so this might be a make or break moment that they can use a lap car as a pick here, which is really fun to watch here on a road course. So take a look there at the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. Currently being scored in 18th, 1 lap down. See, Artie's going to duck to the inside and allow the 7 of Carpenteri around. Now the 87 also going to move to the outside as he is 1 lap down. Look for the 7 to move to the inside. That is your 3rd place car at the moment right now. So our top 5 right now is, as you see, the 1 Artie Peterson Jr. He's going to off track it into the kitty litter off of turn 4. You see a gaggle of sideways cars there. The 97, our race leader, 93 at Kosalova right there. See the 87 off track again through the grass. He's going to try and gather it back up as right now. Kosalova fighting to stay on the lead lap right now, as now the 97 is going to try to make the pass on the outside as he goes through the corner. He will get around the 93, so that'll leave 14 cars now on the lead lap. So look back once again to the battle. Oh, we see the 7 of Carpenteri off track there, so now that's going to possibly open the door for the 5 of Gale and the 69 of Aiden Young to get a little bit closer to that number 7 machine and take 3rd spot away. As there's now an 8-second gap in climbing between 1st and 2nd here. So we're going to focus on 3rd, 4th, and 5th right here. As we see the 18 of Will Morris there off in the grass off of turn number 1 there. We're going to continue to watch these guys here, see if we see another off track by the 7, if the 5 and the 69 can capitalize off of that. They enter the S's here. Let's see, can everybody stay all 4 wheels on the pavement? See a little bit of a bobble there out of the 5. That's just getting back to the gas a little bit too soon. Right now it does appear that the 7 was able to recover from that off track. He's gained a little bit of ground back against the 5. The 69 still trying to put the pressure on the 5 of Gale here as they enter the final turn once again. This race is going by very, very quickly. There's a lot of action happening on track, but I think the biggest topic and the biggest story to talk about is so far the 97 of Eric Drapeau, starting from the tail of the field with an EOL penalty due to Bristol. He was not able to qualify. Started 22nd. He's out front right now with a 9.8 second lead over the 51 of Sam Green. As we see the 20 of Pondo Co there off track. So once again, as they head off, you can see Carpenteri making up a little bit more ground on the 5 and the 69, as once again they're going to head into the first set of S's here. Another nice feature that iRacing has added, you guys might see it if you haven't paid attention when they go from high speed to low speed. Watch the front wheels. They have added rotor glow in here, so now once these guys are hard on the binders, you can see it because their rotors will be glowing bright red. The gap is just continuing to grow even more as the 97 has now brought it out to a 11.5-second lead. You can see a lot of rubber getting laid down in these corners now. So we're just past halfway. Still a lot of racing to go as we see the 98 of Jeff Biglin a little bit slow here, so the 5 of Gale and the 69 of Young having to work around that as they make their way off, and that's allowed the 69 of Young to get right up there to the back bumper of the 5 of Gale. Take a look out front here at our race leader right now. He is see a little bit of slide there out of him coming into the final corners, but no pressure whatsoever. Got a 12.7-second lead. Let's go back to our second place car. That's the 51 of Sam Green. As we see the same thing there, a little bit of brake lockup going there into the final corners. Now we see the 7 there of Aaron Carpenteri right there as our third place car. 5 of Chris Gale, 4th. Behind him, the 69 of Aiden Young in 5th. The 03 of Kevin Hash right now sitting in 6th position. As we look back a little bit further in 7th, we've got the 35 there of Sawyer Ott. So right now, we do have a little bit of a battle possibly going on here between the 77 of Patrick Langley, the 48 of Matt Cherry, and the 43 of Kelvin Masur. This is for 8th, 9th, and 10th. See Langley able to walk it away. Right now Cherry holding on for the 9th position. You see there the 43, he's going to run in the top 10. So go back to that's 8th. 11th right there is the 12 of Paul Smith. 12th, 30 of Dustin Majewski. Then the 09 of Dave Matson. 93 there of Andy Kosalova, 98 of Jeff Biglin, back to the 18 of Will Morris, 17th we've got the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer, Zach Kreiser after a couple off tracks there, holding on to the 18th position. One of Artie Peterson Jr. right there, 19th. Behind that, the 92 of Jonathan Grissop, around the top 20, 2 laps down. Then back to the 54, down 3. 24 of David Jedlicka, and it looks like that's going to round out the field as the 20 of Pondo Co. has decided, I think he's either down on pit road or he has called it a race. Still focusing here on the battle between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Aaron Carpenteri still holding down the 3rd spot. Let me take a look once again. There is the 35 of Sawyer Ott in 7th. As we go through the S's here, back to the battle between the 5 and the 69. You see the 24 make his way back out on track. He's going to dip to the inside here, or the outside rather, and allow the 5 and the 69 to the inside as they go through yet another one of the uphill, downhill transitions. This one right here is the killer. A lot of people have been getting loose off of it last night, or earlier in practice. these guys should have to come down pit road one more time, possibly. So you see right now the 5 of Gale and the 69 of Young, as well as the 7 of Carpentary on pit road. If you look right now, our race leader still out on track. Second place, the 51 of Sam Green, he is in the pits as well. So final pit stops underway here with 12 laps remaining. We've got 51 of Sam Green taking off now, the 7 of Carpentary, the 5 of Gale, the 69 of Young. And if I was a betting man, I'd say I'd see the 97 make his way on the pit road this time by to maintain that race lead. Right now it's a 7-second gap and closing. Let's see if Eric does bring that 97 machine down pit road this time. And he will do so. So leader pit road. As well as the 12 of Paul Smith, the 92 of Jonathan Grissom. See there the 18 off in the grass a little bit there through the final turn. So let's go back to second position right now, which is being scored as the 03 of Kevin Hash. See how this is going to shake out when they get around to the start finish line here. Now Kevin's going to make his way down pit road. You see the 54 off into the tires there. There's the 51 of Sam Green. He will now take the second spot back from the 03 as Kevin makes his way down into the pits. Take a look and see what lap gap difference there is here. So with that pit staying out the extra lap, the 97 able to hang on to the race lead. That is going to give him an 8.8 second gap. If we look back at the 51, which IRTVO is going to be a little bit, or the scoring loop is going to be a little bit off, seeing how the 51 made the pass after crossing the line. It's showing me right now 15.4 second gap between first and second. Take a look, let's go through the most exciting and see if we can find a battle here. It's the 69 of Aiden Young and the 7 of Aaron Carpentary. This will be for third and fourth. Right now the 69 being scored in third, the 7 in fourth. Laps are starting to wind down now here. So we see the 24 of David Jedliga making his way on pit road as we see the 7 Carpentary all but sideways there coming out of the final little kink there. They cross the start finish line. See the 09 of Matson, the 1 of Peterson Jr. I believe that's the 54 of Brian Morris as well coming off of pit road. Now we're going to see Carpentary to the inside, as well as we see the 1 of Peterson. Oh, as we see contact between Peterson. And I believe that's the 09 of Matson going around. It is. That's going to be the 09 of Dave Matson going around. Now, that just cost Dave 14th as the 98 of Jeff Bigland was able to get around him. Meanwhile, all attention right now is on this battle here for third spot. 7 of Carpentary continues to try and work over the 69 of Aiden Young. We can see that the 7 has used his quick repair because he no longer has that kink on the left front quarter of that Krispy Kreme machine. You see the 87 Rittenhauer there off in the grass. Right now, the 97 with a 17-second lead over the 51 here. A little bit of off track by both, and only one cone getting murdered as they come off of that turn there. They're going to come down here into turn number 2. Right now we take a look at the 12 of Paul Smith, currently being scored in the top 10, and there's our race leader right now, the 97 of Eric DePoe, as he's about to put the 48 of Matt Cherry down the lap. That'll leave 8 cars on the lead lap as the 48 goes wide to allow the 97 by. 8 cars left on the lead lap as we are under 10 laps to go here. So we can see the 5 of Chris Gale there trying to get around the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. Gale right now being scored in 5th position. Right now it does appear that the 69 of Aiden Young has been able to stretch it out a little bit between him and the 7 of Carpentary. As we see the 92 of Grissom down on pit road again. These guys still trying to see who's going to hang on to 3rd spot here as we are down to 8 to go. As we take a look back, we're looking at the focus on crashes here. Right now it seems to be hovering around the 69, the 43, and the 7. Now looking at the laps led, Sam Green led the first 13, and now the 97 of Trapeau has led 14 and counting as we wind this race down fairly quickly here. It's got to be the biggest topic of the night here is the 97. Once again, he was not able to qualify due to an EOL at Bristol. Had to start from the back of the field in 22nd. He made his way up to the lead fairly quickly, and once he got up there, he has checked out and is putting on an absolute clinic here at Mid-Ohio. So right now, he has a 17.8 second gap and growing over the 51 of Sam Green. So let's ride on board with our race leader here for the lap and watch the control. All the finesse he's using here. Try to be quiet as long as I could so you guys could hear tire screeching, the throttle, how much throttle management he's using. But absolutely, this is how you run a road course right here, especially in a car that wasn't originally designed for it. As he makes his way out of the final turn, across the line. As we've got a battle going on here. Once again, the 7 of Carpentry has made his way around the 69 of Aiden Young. That will be for third spot. So the exchange. Now we see, it looks like the 7 is going to check out a little bit from the 69, so we look now back at the 48 of Matt Terry, now the 98 of Jeff Biglin. That is for a position there between him and the 93 of Andy Kosalova. If Andy can get around Jeff, that will be for 13th spot. So right now we're looking at the 30 of Dustin Majewski, now running a clean car. A lot of these guys have opted to take their quick fixes late in the race, so we can see a lot of damage still to that 24 machine. A lot of left side damage, rear damage to it, but still hanging in there. As it appears we only have 2 more retirees of the race, the 09 of Dave Madsen and the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. That leaves 20 cars left in the race, 7 of them on the lead lap. Now the lead has come all the way out to a 27-second gap here between first and second place. So let's look. There's our leader, working through the S's. And just now coming down through the fast break, there's our second place car, the 51 of Sam Green. Go back even further. Now entering the fast break, the 7 of Carpentry and the 69 of Young. We continue to just glance around the field here. Looking at the 48 of Cherry and the 39 of Chrysler. Now back to the 7 of Carpentry and the 69 of Young. Ooh, a little bobble there out of the 7, but he's able to keep it under control. Ooh, great recovery by the 69 of Aiden Young there as he hung it off too far on the rumble strip. Almost sent that 69 around. It's going to cost him a lot of time, but he did not tear up the race car doing it. If you look back, we can see 5th position. That is Chris Gale there, so no pressure for the 69 of Young, even with that off track. So when the leader crosses the line, there'll be 2 laps to go here, and we'll wrap things up at Mid-Ohio. Once again, Eric Drapeau putting on an absolute clinic, starting at the back of the field, running all the way up to first and extending his lead out to a 30.1, over a half-minute gap between first and second. Let's take a look at the 7 of Sawyer off and see how close he is to getting thrown down a lap. You can see the race leader right there behind him. That is the 97, so Sawyer in danger here of going a lap down as he blinks a couple times right there in the corner. He seems to be all right now, but he is going to be in danger of going down a lap here at the very end of the race. So let's watch from his gearbox cam. We see the 97, how fast he can approach, and if if he can get around the 35. See the interval closing here as the 97 is absolute. Oh, we see 98. Jeff Bigland going around. He's able to lock it down. That could have been worse. That's in a blind section of the track right there. So if somebody was racing double file for position there, that could have been the end of two cars race. We see the 54. Looks like he's off in the grass there. He's going to get it sent back around as he almost comes out in front of the 35. That's going to allow the 97 as the white flag is going to be displayed. So one more lap around this track. Can the 35 of Sawyer hang on the lead lap here? Looking back at third position, 7 Carpentry under no pressure. So we're going to watch here, see if Sawyer can stay on the lead lap here as it's down to the last about 3/4 of a lap here. Are we going to see the 97 make a move here and put 7th position down? Sawyer doing everything he can to fight to stay on the lead lap here. You see the one of Artie Pearson Jr. as well. So far, so good, but we can see the Drapeau all over the back end of the 35. As they enter the final sets of corners, you see the 97 looking to the outside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He tries now to the inside. He's going to go around. Sawyer will stay on the lead lap. Will he? Oh, just barely. Now we're going to go back here to the second place as we watch the 51 of Sam Green. He's going to cross the line here. He works his way here into the final sets of corners, but cannot stress it enough how much of a beautiful piece of driving displayed by the 97, and I cannot wait for the interview on that one. So you see the 51 here of Sam Green. He's going to bring it home second. You look back here, here's Aaron Carpentry as he comes out of the final corners. If he crosses the line, that will be your third place finisher. And there's the 69 of Aiden Young, fourth. See Chris Gale making his way into the final corners here. He's going to come around through the hairpin as he comes out of the final turn. Across the line. Now back to the 03 of Kevin Hash. Going to bring it home in sixth. We look back to the 35 of Sawyer out. We saw under fire almost the entire lap there by our race leader. He is going to finish this one on the lead lap as we see the 93 of Andy Kosalova locked it up there coming through the final turns. See Sawyer going to cross the line here. Last car on the lead lap. We go back to the 77. I think everybody now pretty much down to race pace here. Now, a lot of these drivers still do have to make it all the way across. Even though the checkered state is out, that these guys are not on the same lap, we could see some position changes here. Unless they are ordered to stay in a holding pattern. Let's take a look. It appears that will make everything right, but we see the 51 and the 7 of Carpentry making their way on the pit road. We've got our race winner right there, the 97 of Eric Drapeau, sitting at the line as we see a little bit of a bump and shove between the 51 and the 7. We're going to go ahead and get these guys in the booth here and get some words. Trying to find. Appears the 7 has disappeared here momentarily. Ah, there he is. He moved himself up. All right, Aaron, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
That was one hell of a race. We saw a lot of battling. Tell me what happened there on the start. We saw it looked like there might have been a big checkup, and the 51 just jumped out to a huge lead.
Yeah, I think Dave, the 44 car, spun his tires. I think he was starting in first, which I kind of was sleeping on the restart. So if he had started in second, he probably still would have been fine. But basically, that caused me to get a little bit of damage, and Sam kind of took the outside, and I made a couple mistakes. I ran him down, but just couldn't capitalize on everything.
Now, I ran a practice earlier with some of the guys. Tell me how slick was the track, especially with the up and downhill transitions here?
It was extremely slick in some of the areas where the elevation change happens. You pretty much just go from having grip to being sideways all of a sudden, and that's a pretty scary feeling.
Well, you capitalized pretty good seeing how you brought home a podium finish. Are you glad that we're done with the first road course of the season and looking forward to next week when we go back to a regular traditional oval?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't expect to do as good as I did today, but Richmond's one of my best tracks, so hopefully we can go out and get a win to cap off the regular season and go in the playoffs with a little bit of momentum.
All right, well, congratulations on the third. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
Just everybody for running clean. Sorry to Aiden on that last little stint with him. I got a little bit loose. I had to hammer down on the gas and kind of got my right rear quarter panel, but I managed to hold on. So hopefully, he understands it's just a racing deal, but it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on third, and we will see you next week at Richmond.
Yep, thanks. See you there.
Now we're going to bring in our second place finisher, the 51 of Sam Green. All right, Sam, you got a copy? We'll check back with him in a minute. Apparently didn't have his ears on. Let's bring the race winner in, as he is patiently sitting there on the start-finish line. All right, Eric, you put on an absolute clinic. You started in the back due to an EOL. You raced your way to the front. You led 21 of the 34 laps. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I mean, started that race pretty concerned, and I'd like to apologize to Michael Coe. I got stuck on the grid there, and that kind of cost him a little bit. But yeah, started the race was concerning as I thought it would be. Just took my time. Got a few early positions. Guys on the track were super clean out there. I really had no problem going around and not messing anybody up. So yeah, when I started to see, I think it's Dave Anderson that had an issue early on, and then Aaron also got an off tracks here and there, and those were kind of the two guys that I thought would just drive away with it, where I couldn't have enough time to catch up. And in the millions of strategies I had figured out, I ended up sticking to plan A, where I mean, I think by lap 6 I ended up in 4th place, so I just kept to the normal plan and drove it all the way to the end.
And it was confirmed, I think, through the 7 that I believe the 44 was in first gear there on the start, and he spun his tires, which kind of bunched the field up there and caused a little bit of damage. But nonetheless, it's not to take away. You absolutely threw down a clinic here today. Everybody had picked you as the fast guy. They knew to watch out for that 97 machine, and ultimately, you brought it home with over a half a minute gap over second position.
Yeah, I mean, I came in pretty solid through practice. I knew, and one thing I'd like to salute the guys that It's not something I saw often, but guys put up a lot of practice sessions for that race, and they took time to practice that racetrack because it's really not an easy track to race at, especially in those large and heavy Xfinity cars. You really gotta take your time to learn the track and learn all the braking points, and adapting through traffic is really difficult. But gotta give it up to the boys in the ITRL for putting all those practice sessions. I joined most of them, and obviously these guys had the opportunity to see the lap times I put up, but it's a 34 laps race. So when I came in, I just figured out I'd run as clean as possible, move up to the field, and whatever happened would happen. And yeah, I mean, really solid race. Really happy about it. I'm pretty sweaty. It was a rough drive. These cars are really a handful to drive, but so much fun.
Well, you absolutely stomped the competition, and I don't think you even so much as have a bug splat on that 97. So congratulations on the win. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, well, first of all, gotta salute that logo on the hood. It's Banana Simulation, pretty much the rig I'm racing into. One of the most solid, most comfortable rig I've ever sat into, and I've been in it for a year, and it's been my computer rig. I've been working on into it for schoolwork and everything. So really, you should get a shout out for them. Other than that, you shout out to Sawyer out for putting this up. I think he's got a few assistants as well. I'm really not sure who exactly they are, but they'll recognize themselves. Really happy that he's put this league together. The ITRL, I think, is a really solid group. These guys are been racing together for a while, but the newcomers joining in seems to be merging with the group pretty well. I mean, it's the first season, so gotta expect there's gonna be a little things that go wrong here and there, but I think Sawyer is handling it pretty well with this group of admins, of course. And thank you as well for having that really solid broadcast. I got to watch it a little bit during the qualifying sessions as I could run it. It's really nice to watch, and thank you very much for putting this up as well.
Once again, congratulations on the dominating race win here at Mid-Ohio, and we will see you next week when we move on to Richmond.
That sounds like a deal. Have a good night, man.
Now let's see if we can get our second place finisher back in here. All right, Sam, you got your ears on. All right, apparently we will not get an interview from our second place finishers. Appears we're having some radio communication issues with them, but once again, right now as we see our race winner burning it down here at the start finish line with a dominating performance, the 97 of Eric Japot leading 21 of the 34 laps. So that's going to lead us into tonight. Oops, well, that's the wrong button there. First time I screwed up tonight, I'm allowed one or two. So that gives us in the results. Obviously, with the race win, with a 33, almost 33 and a half second lead over second place. Eric Japot bringing it home in first. Sam Green in the 51 second. The 7 of Aaron Carpenteri third. Aiden Young fourth. Chris Gale fifth. Kevin Hash sixth. Sawyer 7th. Last car on the lead lap. Patrick Langley 8th. Matt Cherry 9th. Paul Smith is going to round out the top 10. We look a little bit further back. The 30 of Dustin Majewski 11th. Kelvin Masur 12th. Andy Kosalova 13th. Jeff Figlin 14th. Zach Kreiser 15th. Will Morris 16th. Artie Peterson Jr. 17th. Jonathan Grissom 18th. David Jedlicka 19th. And running out the top 20 is going to be the 54 of Brian Morris. The 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer, 21st. Dave Matson, 22nd. Pondoco, 23rd. Dave Anderson, after getting stuck in the fence, 24th. And rounding out the field with a park and start, the 19 of Donald Sadusky. Now, there's one person that I do want to drag up here in the booth if I can grab him. And give me a second here. Haha, I gotcha. Sawyer, how was it? We had
Hey.
first road course race of the season, and we saw a clinic put on. Everybody got spanked tonight.
Yeah, but that was expected. I mean, I had a blast personally. I mean, I'm sweating right now, man. I was just having a good time racing, some left-right racing, some shifting, some braking. I mean, stuff we I guess we're just kind of not used to and something different. But I mean, I felt like for the majority, everybody I was around was doing a good job, and I know a couple people were off track here and there, and some people didn't get a lot of practice. But for the guys that for the last week have been really putting in the time and practice, it showed for sure. I mean, we knew Eric was going to be good. I mean, he's just good at it, and I think everybody expected that. So that was no shocker. I was kind of shocked that he got up there that quick, but I was hoping for a little bit more time before I saw the 97 in my mirror. But all in all, it was a good man. It was a good race. I had fun. I know some other people had already commented to me that were like, "Man, we should run this next year." So I will definitely run a road course next year. I thought about changing it, but if everybody wants to stick with this one, we can. So. I thought it was good, man. I really did. Even though Eric won and he's not eligible, so that kind of takes a win away. But Eric's a good driver, and he came out here and he did what he had to do, and he got it done. So I enjoyed it. I hope it was enjoyable from the booth.
The last lap was very enjoyable as you fought to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. I saw
Wasn't
you
that
walking
awesome?
on.
I did that just for you. Okay, I was sitting there. I was like, I was gonna let him by. I was like, you know what? I was pretty much stuck in 7th place the entire race. Like I had 15 seconds in front, like 15 seconds behind. Like I was kind of by myself the whole race. So I saw Eric kind of closing in those last couple laps. I was like, I'm just gonna let him go, and it's no big deal. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna see if I just as a challenge, just see if I could stay on the lead lap. And I was like, I bet Art's getting a kick out of this. And wasn't that close at the line? I was like, oh, I got lapped, and it was like, keep going, keep going.
You had him by about a half a fender, so be very lucky that you stayed on the lead lap because that 97 was absolutely on a mission from the start of the race. That I think is the only thing that we really had an issue with was the start there. I think
Yeah.
Anderson spun his tires a little bit there, and that stacked the field up, which gave Green the early lead. He led the first 13 laps, but in those
he won the
13
stage.
laps, yeah, you got the stage there, and then in those 13 laps, it didn't take long. The 97 took over from there and led the remaining 21.
Yeah, by stage 2, he got second. So, I mean, that was pretty incredible. I mean, you just gotta hats off to the guy. I mean, he knows the road racing stuff. He's good. So, I expected it, but not as I don't think as bad as that. But once he got in the lead, I knew as long as he didn't make a mistake, it was his race to lose. But all in all, I think everybody else, like I said, you said Sam Green, he had a great run, and Aaron as well. Gail and Kevin were up there the whole race. It was fun, man. I really did enjoy. It was a quick race. We expected that, but all in all, first road course of the season, it's pretty good.
Well, any final words before we wrap up the first road course with this league and move on next week to Richmond?
Just congrats to Eric. Congrats to Sam on winning the stage. I know Dave got the pole, had that little incident on lap 1, which sucked to see, but he was definitely fast. Eric won stage 2. Just thanks to all the guys for coming out again. I know we didn't have as big a field as normal, and that was expected, but hopefully we'll bounce back, back up in the 30s next week. And yeah, man, one race left for the chase. I'm working on the points right now. It's going to be a close race for those guys. 12th to 20th. They're all going for those top 16 spots. So it's going to be interesting, and I think we're going to have a great race next week at Richmond.
And what better place to seal it up than Richmond? I love some short track racing, and I know you guys are not going to disappoint.
Absolutely. But again, also want to appreciate or give you big thanks for doing the broadcast, and Die Hard Live TV. Y'all do a good job, and yeah, appreciate it.
All right, well, once again, that's going to wrap things up here. Thanks for taking the time for the final word. We'll see you next week at Richmond, and I'll get this thing in the books for you guys.
10-4, buddy. Sounds good.
All right, so that's going to conclude things here tonight at Mid-Ohio, once again with an absolute ass-whooping laid on by the 97 of Eric Depeau. 21 laps out of the 34 led in the books, starting from the back of the field. I want to thank everybody here at ITRL. People who come on board for sponsors, for making the Autism Speaks 130 possible. Obviously, I'm not going to thank myself because I love being here, love broadcasting these guys on Tuesday nights. This Sunday, damn, I can't remember where we go. On to, I think, crap. Oh well. You guys know every Sunday on the portal we're live with the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series. So be sure to tune in Sunday night at 7:15 p.m. Central Time, and as always, 7:55 p.m. Central Time on Tuesdays here with Iron Thunder. That's going to do it for everything here. We saw a great race, a surprisingly large field for a road course, but in the end, we saw the true road course racer come out of this one. But once again, that's going to do it for us here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we will see you guys next Tuesday at Richmond.